This is a big one.
What?
It's a big one. Lefty Gunplay says he'd be mad if his daughter dated a black dude. Does that make him a hate monger, or does that just make him your average run-of-the-mill prison dude?
He's a hypocrite now.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to tell you why. He made reference to a statement that I made on Clubhouse.
Okay.
When I said...
He blames you for everything.
Yeah, I never met the dude. When I said I would not sign a Southsider, I would help, assist, whatever, but I wouldn't personally sign.
And for the record, every Mexican person I've had that conversation with on the podcast basically acknowledges that your reasoning behind that is very logical.
Okay. Now, for him to say some crazy shit about me for saying that, I understand why he's saying what he's saying. Because I understand his roots in the politic he comes from, right? You know, he's not a Chicano, you know, he's a Southsider.
Right.
And yes, he's rapping in California. So he has to have some type of allegiance with some black people, Crips and Bloods. Hispanics has never had a position of control when it comes to urban hip hop.
Right.
Over here on the West Coast, right? You get to the East Coast, it's a different type of Latin vibe, Fat Joe shit like that, right?
Right.
So his whole thing about, yeah, I fuck with the blacks, I fuck with the brothers, that's because you have to. But do you really fuck with the blacks? Because the fact that you're saying you wouldn't allow your daughter to be involved with a black man or a black young man lets us know you really don't fuck with the blacks.
Because you could fuck with black people on a very superficial level. You can do music with them. You can have black fans in your music. You can take pictures with black fans. There's almost no commitment there.
But he doesn't.
Your daughter dating someone is like a very good judge of how you actually feel about that group of people. Yeah.
That's a fact. And I just keep it real. Like, I'm not finna, sugarcoat. That's why when you ask those essays that come from where we come from, they telling you, well, Wack said is very true. We're coming. They have a total different structure. Like, if I was Hispanic, I could not get away with some of the shit that I get away with.
Right.
Their politics totally different.
Right.
With us, we section out. With them, is one thing that's solid and it's gonna happen.
Okay, but here's the question: is Lefty Gunplay? Is it fair for him to use his prison time as his excuse for why he feels that way? Because obviously, him spending 8, 9, whatever it is, years behind bars, that has transformed his mentality in a way that it probably wasn't before.
With that. They didn't show the essays and exposed him. Times he said he is in jail, he wasn't, he was here, he was there, he was here. So at the end of the day, what we saying is this. I know for a fact that Lefty Gunplay is a gimmick. The people that standing with him are standing with him so they can get paid. The real Southsiders who got the real paperwork on dude will show you who he is and who he's not. You can find this shit on YouTube.
What are you saying he really is, though? There's been a lot of talk that maybe he's exaggerating how much time he spent in prison.
He's exaggerating how much time he spent in prison, the yards, the position he held on the yards. No way a dude like that is going to hold any position of authority on a yard. He's going to be what they call a fucking torpedo, right? He's going to do what he's told to do. No way those Judeños who tap into what they tap in with them people across that border will allow a dude like that to be their voice. You gonna carry shit, hold shit, do what we tell you to do. That's it. He's out here. He got a opportunity to make some income and generate some income. They gonna stand with him and they gonna control him. He ain't never calling no motherfucking dogs. No way. Not that movement. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, my issue is that he's like talking all this weird high power shit, like, oh, acting like if he knew that No Jumper was going to interview Rico Too Smooth, that he would have personally came here and stopped it from happening. Get the fuck out of here. Like,
he's a dope fiend.
Talking all this tough shit, like bro, don't try to get involved with some shit like that. That has nothing to do with you. You don't get to tell me who I get to do fucking podcasts
And that's
with.
a fact.
Yeah.
He's a dope fiend, bro.
Yeah.
He's a fucking dope fiend. For one, that movement is not going to allow a dope fiend to have the keys or be in control of their movement. He's going to sit there, say what he's going to say, but I really think deep down inside, underneath all the over-exaggerated tattoos, he's an innocent little guy. He's an innocent little boy, right, who found a gimmick. He's a cartoon character. They gonna use him, they gonna squeeze him, they gonna ring him, and they gonna throw his ass away.
Oof. You're painting the picture right there. So I asked him to come on the podcast with me and Lush and Brick Baby so that we could talk about some of these issues that we've been having. He said he wants 10,000. I go and I look at how all of his recent interviews have been doing.
This is his downfall.
30K, 50K.
He's about to fall. He's letting it get to his head.
Because his biggest interview by far was his no jumper interview. I don't even think it hit 600K.
And guess what
now
he was talking about?
Now he's doing all these interviews getting 30K.
Guess what he was talking about?
What?
Right? He's talking what?
Putting out his initial
He's talking
story.
what Adam 22.
Yeah.
And he's mentioning Wack 100. Mm-hmm. Motherfucker, that ain't you. That's the chemistry between the people you talking
when
about.
I see somebody ask for an exorbitant amount of money that obviously we're not going to pay because there's no possible way that we would ever be able to profit that much from the interview.
Charge him to come on.
But you know what I see though is I see somebody who's scared of having a real conversation with people that are going to actually put him to the fire and actually ask him the tough questions.
That's a fact.
To me, him asking for 10K, that's him ducking the fade. Because he knows that if he comes in here and has a real conversation with people who are actually going to like press him about shit, that he's not going to be able to withstand that.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
I feel like we're watching him sort of like speed run his career.
Bro, I give him till, remember I told you this, by second quarter 2025, A, they going to find him. B, he going to end up doing some dumb shit, DUI, run a fucking light and run into somebody, hope they survive, and his ass gonna be somewhere. Or C, he'll be forgot about. You know one thing about this West Coast, just because you got a buzz and a boost, if you don't know how to enhance that and cross over, your ass will go away.
Yeah. He needs to focus more on the music and less on doing every podcast.
I still haven't heard